So today we're going to talk about overcoming self-doubt. I mean, like I said, I don't really have a lot of stuff to go through today purely because I kind of want to leave it to the pods because this is a subject that is so important. Because it's something every one of us, I know myself, so many, especially growing up. I think if I had had one major struggle in my life, it was the subject of self doubt. I literally had to fight myself to overcome it. So I kind of want us to talk about it this week as part of our series of our self discovery series. Now, what exactly is self doubt? Self doubt is, ugh, every time I think about it, it gives me the, what's the word, heebie jeebies or whatever. Self doubt is that feeling of uncertainty about your choices, your decisions, and your prospects. It's about wanting to go left, but always wondering whether left is right. Maybe you should go right. Always doubting yourself, always second guessing yourself, always not sure whether your decision is the right decision. If somebody made that decision, you probably think it's right, but because it's you have that feeling of uncertainty. It's almost like you don't trust your own judgment. And sometimes it also means you don't even trust your own worth. It's that constant questioning of your judgment and your worth. You know, um, it's related to that feeling of low self confidence about yourself, your abilities, and things that are generally outside your control. I have seen so many people talk themselves out of opportunities that were perfect for them. They could have got it, they could have grasped it, but they're always thinking, what would somebody else say? What happens if I fail? What happens if I got it wrong? What happens if I make a mistake? What happens this? What happens that? So you're constantly second guessing yourself. But the problem is, you never move forward. You second guess yourself so often that it doesn't cause you to move forward. You always stay as you are. And I get it, because sometimes staying as you are is safe. You know it, it's your safe zone. But opportunities don't lie where you are, opportunities lie outside of where you are. Thing about self doubt you have to be aware of is every one of us at some point in time, me included, loads of times I've experienced a level of self doubt. There's literally, it's hard to find someone that hasn't experienced it. I have my youngest child is my youngest, should I say my youngest daughter, my youngest child, my youngest, the girl, amazing, absolutely beautiful, gentle soul. She is, how old is Alex? Oh, she's gonna kick me. Alex is she 12? She's 11. Oh my God, I'm in trouble. Is she 11? I don't even know my daughter's age. That is terrible. She is going to kick me if she ever finds out. Um, but as lovely as she is, when you would ask her something simple like, "What do you want for tea, for dinner?" She'll go, and I'll go, "Well, you've either got this or you got this. What do you want to choose?" And she's constantly debating. And I decided I wasn't going to let her get away with it anymore because I wanted her to know that making a decision, even if it's wrong, it's not the end of the world. You don't get a kick in the backside because you made a wrong decision. Sometimes the only way to know what you want is to actually understand what you don't want. And if you are constantly afraid of making a choice, you'll get to a point that you become paralyzed and actually do nothing. So, whilst it does affect everyone, don't allow self doubt to dominate your life, because if you allow it to, it can have a significant impact on your mental health and well being. Self doubt can lead to anxiety, it can lead to depression. It can, I mean, especially anxiety, because you get that feeling of, being anxious as to, oh, I don't know, maybe I might get it wrong. Maybe the world will collapse. Maybe I will lose out. Maybe this, maybe that. What will people think? All of that can affect you. And that's what we want to help you avoid today. Where does self doubt comes from. Now, there's so many different, this is not supposed to be an exhaustive list. I just kind of like picked four that I really relate with and resonates with me. One of the areas in which self-doubt comes from, I would love it if you could mute yourself, guys. I'm getting some feedback.
Mac, if you want to give me control, I can assist with that.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I have lost. I got to give you control anyway so that you can do the rooms. Where is Lisa? I've lost Lisa. Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. Okay. So back to the presentation. So where does self-doubt comes from? Often you see self-doubt, from people's childhood, and how you're raised can actually affect the level of confidence you have. If you're raised in an environment whereby you're constantly criticized, or you're constantly told how wrong you are, or how not so good you are, that can, actually affect you and your ability to make decisions. Now, just because you suffer self-doubt as a child doesn't mean it carries all the way through adulthood. No. But for some people, that is the case. So, I personally, I made a conscious decision to always encourage my children not to be afraid to get things wrong, because I need them to know it's all right to get it wrong. It's all right to fail. What is really wrong is if you sit down in your failure and do nothing about it. You make a mistake, you get something wrong, get up, smile, learn from it, and move on. I told my kids, you will never, ever be punished in whatever way because you made a mistake. I will never tell my kids off because they made a mistake. Realize the mistake and move on from it. Another area where self-doubt comes from is habit. Self-doubt is actually a mental habit. And how do you form habits? By keep repeating things over and over and over. Some of us are experts at self-doubt because it's plagued us. We've lived with it, worked with it. We're more comfortable doubting ourselves than believing in ourselves. And the more you practice self-doubt, the more it has a stronger hold in your life and in your ability to make decisions. And that's things I've noticed with people. And some people I've spoken to that struggle with self-doubt. It's something that they've just dealt with all of their life. They've always doubted themselves. They've never believed in themselves. And at some point, if you're going to break the whole self-doubt has on you, you're going to have to stop that habit of constantly doubting yourself. Another common reason is comparison. My goodness. Especially coaches. I am so glad I'm doing this now. Especially coaches. Coaches, please stop comparing yourself with everybody else. You are not like everybody else. So what if somebody made 100 grand in 3 months and you're still struggling to get your first client? You are not them. You do not have their background. You do not have their history. You do not have their environment. So why compare yourself with other people? The moment you begin to compare yourself, your style of coaching with other people, I guarantee you're going to start developing a level of self-doubt, and that is not something you want. There is no such thing as the norm. There is no such thing. You trying to be the norm doesn't work. I know I am not the norm. I am loud. I move my hands when I talk. I can't be less expressive. It's who I am. If I wanted to do my presentation the way everybody does their presentation, it might work, but it wouldn't be me. So be you. The more you try to compare yourself with other people, the more you begin to doubt yourself. And that's something I have had to teach myself. I am not you, so I'm not going to try and be you. I'm not even going to attempt to be you. So comparison is one of the ways in which we develop self-doubt. Final point there, inner voice. Oh my goodness. We all have that voice within us that tells us how we're wrong, how it's never going to work, how you'll fail, how you're going to lose all your money, how, what will other people say? We all have that inner voice that constantly questions our abilities and the decisions we're trying to make. And the problem is, the more we give in to that voice, the more we're going to doubt ourselves, and the more we're going to withdraw, the more that voice is there to sort of like help us be safe. But the more audience will give it, the louder it gets. And the louder it gets, the more we begin to doubt ourselves and the things that we're going to do. I like the quote there. Oh, I didn't even put who gave that quote, but I like that quote. It says, "Your self-doubt does not define who you are or what you are capable of." You know, most of you don't even know how capable and how good you really are. And the moment you discover it, you will begin to wonder, why did I ever doubt myself? Why did I ever question my ability to do what I wanted to do? I did say I wasn't going to take too long, and trust me, this is the last slide, so you don't need to worry. So how do you overcome self-doubt? Stop justifying why you can't or why you shouldn't. Self-doubt, one of the things self-doubt gives us is excuses. It will give you the reasons why you shouldn't make that decision, why you shouldn't invest your money in a business you want to get off the ground, why you shouldn't take that course, why you shouldn't try and speak to a client, why you shouldn't ask for more money. You know, some of us can generate significantly more money from our coaching business if we didn't have self-doubt. If we weren't too worried about what people will think or say about us, we will be doing exceedingly better than we are today. So stop justifying why you can't or why you shouldn't. And, you know, be self-compassionate. You know, if you fail, don't be hard on yourself. You know, love yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, because if you do, you'll never take risk. If you don't, you'll never take risk. You know, and the thing to progress and to take opportunities, you're going to need to take risk. So if you fail, allow yourself to fail. Allow yourself for things not to work out. Be more compassionate. Be conscious of that negative inner voice. I've spoken about that. Find an environment. Just before this meeting today, I caught up with two friends over Zoom. We spoke for about an hour and a half. Man, we laughed, we enjoyed, we encouraged each other, you know, championed each other, was supporting each other. Find a circle that is positive. I will not allow anybody in the pods to pull other people down. That is my big no-no. If you want to criticize somebody, pull somebody down, now I would rather you leave the pods than pollute the environment that we're trying to create here. You know, put yourself in a place whereby you'll be encouraged, whereby you'll find enthusiasm about your dream, about your passion, you know, because that will help you in overcoming self-doubt. Develop self-awareness. We spoke about that a week or two ago. Again, don't keep comparing yourself. Most importantly, don't look for others to validate you. Your validation should come from within. You should look at yourself and go, I did good. You know, I enjoyed that coaching session. I think I'm growing. I think I'm improving. Pat yourself on the back. Validate yourself. Don't look for validation from elsewhere. And finally, replace your talking with doing. You know, one of the things that allows self-doubt to grow is we keep talking about things we never do. The one way to overcome it is to actually take action and do it. So today, in a few moments, Lisa's going to open up the rooms and we're going to dive into the rooms. What I'd like us to do, and you can take this in whichever direction you want to. I give suggestive questions, but feel free to take this in whatever direction you want to go. So, what are some of the questions that will be good to explore today? Describe situations in which you have experienced self-doubt. I've got loads. I have had job opportunities that I doubted myself, that when I got the job, I was shocked I got the job, you know, but I did take the action. So describe situations in which you have experienced self-doubt. What area of your life now, whether it be in relationship or your business are you currently struggling with self-doubt? Which area of your life? Then finally, what steps can you begin to take today to help you overcome your self-doubt? So describe the situation you've experienced. What current areas of your life are you experiencing it? And what steps can you begin to take to help overcome it?